Quick, like and subscribe to always have max mats and minis in Chapter 2.
No, whoa! Bro, like, what do they... Oh my god, the controller is so OP, bro!
Have a good mentality when these controller players are in my lobby. Like, they have no genetics that makes them good at anything they do in life, bro.
What's up, guys? Another video, Ninja, talking about Fortnite, aim assist. We get it. I don't really have anything to say about it in terms of what should happen. I'm reading Twitter, I've been checking and always following up on competitive, and apparently in North America, NA East, the top 15 or top 14 players, all controller, on PC, of course. And that's what we're talking about when we ever talk about aim assist. We're not talking about players on console, we're always talking about on PC with a controller plugged in. It's going to be up to you guys. Like, I can't do anything. I don't use it. It's going to be up to credible, top, competitive controller players who have a huge influence, who, you know, to reach out to Epic, and be vocal about it, and be honest about it, if we want it to, or if you guys, we all as a unit want it to be more balanced. Controller aim assist is more, you know, it's performing way better than it does on Xbox and PlayStation and shit when you're on PC. So yeah, guys, I mean, people have to be vocal about it, especially the players who are using it. And I see a lot of players, obviously, even Aiden and a couple others are, you know, talking about how it is extremely broken. It is extremely overpowered right now, on PC. And, you know, if we get more people speaking up like that and being honest about it, I think we can actually get, you know, a nerf or a change and make it more balanced and healthy, man. I want everyone to play together. Controller players are amazing. It's an incredible talent. I was a professional Halo player and competed on controller for years, so I get it. You know, just want everyone to be happy, and I want the game to thrive. So, love you guys.
Hey, Fortnite Moments fans! Want more V-Buck giveaways? Make sure to use code BEAST in the item shop. And we'll continue to give out redemption codes just like this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out.
Let's see if that works out for a lot of these players as we get into the final game out of NA East. Take us in, Shy. Take us in, Sundown.
I mean, it will be Kanata dropping in. We haven't seen too much from him today, except a few cool early, late, mid glimpses of how his fights are going. This time, though, he'll have 2 shotguns to boot. Not exactly what he's going to be looking for. I would say, yeah, pick up the tack. Use that as the primary roller in this fight. So he's trying to get right through. But right now, a few speed bumps in the road. The last game of NA East, and he doesn't have the speed to take it in this box fight just yet, Sundown.
No, and I mean, this goes from being really scary, or like right off the bat you think, okay, I have the tack, I can go, let's do this. But then all of a sudden you see that the other person drank a couple shields and you only have 4 builds, and now you're like, do I really want this fight? Can I win this fight? He takes first damage, gets 40 back over onto him, but it doesn't break the shield, so you know he had at least 10 more health there. Like, you're at a deficit here. You kind of want to disengage the situation, but something about landing on one of these scavenger routes and having another player closing in as you see that dark purple or dark pink, whatever color that is on the map, coming over here, you don't really always get all the resources you want, and you kind of have to press forward. But he makes it happen. Casket going down right away, but can he cover himself? As Pulse Fishy trying to get in immediately onto Canada, knowing that he was low, hearing the fight off of the start. But Canada having the refresher of mats might be the big difference. They're immediately going up to 8. Pulse Fishy trying to force through the wall, and this is huge if Kanada's going to be able to take down an early 1v2. 78 tag comes through, evens up the HP a little bit, but he has to be careful here, Shy.
Yeah, he doesn't have that much to kind of hold off with so far. Now just half a mag left in that shotgun, but it's right there. Pulse goes down. He picks it right up. 2 eliminations total for Kanada now to roll in with the competition. We Scope now, who's joined in to the boxes of both Hornet. I think there was Roller or Kanada who was here earlier on, but not anymore. Scope will look to mine out just a little bit. His materials are looking really good. His position's not too bad either, but as Sundown mentioned, you have to be very careful as to who you box yourself beside. A lot of people have different agendas at this point in the game. You want to make sure, yeah, even if you try to move and play around those agendas, there's other people who are baiting that tactic. AJ will be the one in this situation to land a big beam on the Scope. But he's only looking for damage right now and only really looking to third party. He won't actually act off of that big damage. And Scope will be right back to square one with full HP. A few brick materials lost. AJ could clap straight back again, though.
Yeah, but I doubt AJ's going to peek the same angle again. Generally, once you assume you hit somebody with a sniper once, you're going to assume, hey, that guy's not going to peek the exact same angle or take that exact same path again because I already hit him there. He's probably going to go somewhere else. Scope's like, haha, joke's on you. I'm going to take the exact same path over again, and I'll be totally fine. As we hop on board here with Polarize, who has all the shields he could possibly want. Nice little dink immediately coming out there from that epic burst rifle, hit for the 64 shot, but you see everyone just kind of crowding in around Lazy Lake since we did pull a relatively central zone again, so 52 players remaining. Not the densest of lobbies, but still a solid amount of people in here. Again, we've talked about it, queues have been closed. This is the final game we're going to cover on NA East, and Polarize is another player who we need to keep an eye on. He was 203rd yesterday with 53 points. However, today, more than doubling that at 118 right now. And honestly, it's going to take, again, probably another 4 elims or a top 5 finish in order for him to qualify here. Otherwise, a combination of the two could end up doing it, but he's really going to need some kind of performance to push himself up there. And as we say it, Donnie, all right, clutch your kick. You guys, you can take the follows away from him. Good try, Donnie, because Polarize sent you back to the lobby there.
That we'll be seeing, and Polarize might be able to see that top 80 as well today. And we've talked about almost every single person in terms of their point update at this point, at this match, the last one of NA East. Everyone's just so close to qualifying. I feel like it'll actually come down to that last point, that last placement, even maybe just hitting top 75 or top 50. One person needs to go down right now for points to get handed out to the rest of the lobby, and no one's budging, not even Justice, who's all the way in the Storm. He could actually make this point ripple for everyone else with this individual who's all the way at the backside of Storm. But he'll choose to play it slightly safer. It'll be Sharpshooter. We'll be getting a taste of his own medicine right here, getting shot up straight towards the body. A little bit of damage taken, not too many builds left, just 4 pieces now, but he reigns so strong with shots. Justice, not sure if he even needed to take that peek, maybe a little bit of a throw. You were talking about people who needed eliminations. He did the damage. He could have just ran out and had an easy pickup on 4 points. Now his competition's kind of over.
I mean, it's not kind of over. It's definitely over. I mean, see you in the reboot round, man. There's no way you qualified, especially if that was what was going on. With that being said, that like, yeah, you had the tags on him. Like, yes, Sharp has a medkit, but even then, you still have positioning. Go to the zone and wait. Like, the worst thing that happens then is he goes away and you lose an opportunity to get the elimination, but odds are good. He still has to run on a straight path from you unless he has multiple medkits, as Luca tries to put some distance between himself and the Psycho Miro, who's continuing to just kind of fly at people, making sure that he's not, like, overextending away from his space, but if somebody comes close to his space, he's like, hey, nope, watch out. It's like the angry dog at the fence. He's not going to leave the fenced-in area, but, like, if you come remotely close, he's like, hey, no, back off. I will fight you at this wall. Stop it. This is my wall. Go away.
Sometimes they do go past that fence, though. We've seen Roller do it time and time again. Miro might get into that attitude as well because this is the last game. He has so many points already. He has the opportunity to just go crazy, but we talked about the way Commandment handles these lobbies, these positions when it comes to where he is overall in the leaderboard. I think Miro is kind of the same way. As I say that, he hops straight into a box, goes for big beams. This is very smart, though, but also just kind of ironic in terms of what we were talking about before. It's Paul who actually gets taken out. I'm not sure if he was close to qual range. I'm not sure if he was confirmed in there, but if he wasn't, that's it. Reboot round is where he'll have to go after this, and right now Miro chooses who gets to live and who gets to say goodbye in this last game of North America East.
And the only reason I would say that push was actually intelligent was because right before we cut cameras, you saw Paul get ripped apart. So he knew that player had freshly built builds between him and was also desperately trying to put on shields. So pushing through the heavy sniper, good attempt to capitalize there. However, not necessarily like the best of choice to chase all the way down and through and put yourself in a horrible position, but with enough builds and kind of that little bonus of the grid being like pretty much right at ground level there, you're actually able to put a floor and a ramp up that's really hard to shoot out unless you're at a specific angle. So able to put up enough space and get his shields back up as we hop on board here with Origins, who's sitting at 64 points in the day.
Yeah, Origins has kind of expended his overall loadout as well in terms of ammunition. He has some of the best weapons in the game except for that pump shotgun, but not that much ammo to use with them. The heavy sniper will have about 11 to 15 shots. The follow-up, though, can only really be done once. So as he surveys the ground, we'll tune in with Crumble and Scoped, who are sharing a base, obviously not voluntarily at the moment because they want to be able to control this spot. It's temporary, though. They're going to want to move away to where the zone actually is. Looks like it's going to pull all the way towards the right side. And yep, on all the options we could have had, it's going to be the only place in the zone that had a river intertwined throughout all of it, almost perfectly fitting in there.
Of course, but luckily enough for this river in particular, it's low enough where you can just kind of ramp off of the bottom. It's not some of those deeper water sectors that completely negate you from being able to build in there. As we see Scoped just kind of push right on into AJ's box, getting into that phased floor and not really giving him an option to disengage. Whichever direction it goes, Scoped would have been able to follow. And now we'll see what he decides to rock with. Will he go with the heavy flopper loadout? Will he decide to kind of keep that heavy sniper so he can keep kind of a little bit of the offensive agency? It seems like that's going to be the choice right now.
Regardless of the options, which he has a lot of, he's still not in zone just yet, so he might not have a chance to keep everything. In terms of shields as well, he only has about an extra 50 to use with 2 minis. Overbuilding in mats, you might wonder why this isn't that smart, but he has about 2 big boxes of individuals who've left their loot behind. Assault, though, sees this as an opportunity. Snake as well to move in because his entire tarp will not have anyone threatening behind. They understand that the individual who's making it is going to go back to collect those materials. It'll be offline for just a moment, but when Scope comes back, that's when he'll look for more people to take. He's already taken out the surveillance of that entire region. AJ, as we tune in with him. Right now, Miro, who's kind of surveying the entire province of this 4th zone that's locking in, is going to look for shots. The heavy sniper shot out there kind of just misses narrowly. Miro at 5 might get his 6th one box to box right here. We've seen him be smart and go for these long-range picks and shots, but at the end of the day, it's always a box he dives into. And Vet on Legacy is slightly above him. Vexy's right there, though, next to his box. He might choose to go straight for him. He has the option of looking downwards as well. A very interesting place he's actually in. He could just drop here with the heavy sniper. He's going to try to. And surprise, surprise, the combination is there. You can't even jump over him. He'll still be able to track you. Miro, with 6 total eliminations, now though focused and chosen by the whole lobby. The tricky situation to get out of, but his old base is so close, so nearby that he can hop straight right into it. It's a whole metal, basically starship in the middle of this map, and everyone's just kind of hold on to it because no one wants to be central zone where the river is and be subject to playing in water.
Yeah, though it will highly depend on where that 5th zone, the half-in, half-out pulls. That's going to dictate a lot of the action. You can see, as we talk about that, it does pull due south. You see Scope trying to line up a shot there, but not quite going to be able to hit that one there. A little difficult going through, not able to line it up, but will have an edit angle if he decides to try and take some additional shots over on the side. You can see him setting it up so he can kind of shoot down and shoot at anybody who might launch without really getting poked at from the side. So really good job covering himself there. Hit some white tags, but unfortunately the Elim is going to go over to Assault Degen instead. trying to line up another snipe shot, but nobody necessarily overexposing, as pretty much everyone has now rotated into the circle.
And Scoped in this position right now is basically all in. If he ever takes damage, only Siphon can really save him. Yes, he can go all the way down for those floppers, but I'm pretty sure he wants to save those for the Storm, save those for later on. Gets a big elimination. That's so important because he has, as I mentioned, no shields. Now he'll be at that full effective, almost 200 HP. The movement now, when this half and in, half out zone locks in, will be a lot more safer for him, at least. We'll have a little bit of insurance in his HP pool. We tune into Astonish, who has a lot of extra shields, possibly stolen away from Scoped at the moment. And right now as well, the Grappler Sky's loot in play. He'll be using it to be troublesome to height. The question is, when will he start to let the server know that he has it available? Because as soon as one person hears it, the way they play just changes.
Yeah, it's a really, really, really obvious and loud audio cue as well. Like, the entire lobby will focus towards it. You'll be aware of where you are. Additionally, too, he's so central in the zone right now that he kind of has to use it. And if you're going to use it, you either need to go very early or very late. He's opting to go late, as we do see Storm Surge does begin to tick over. Some good shots coming through here. Once one more player goes down, Storm Surge will no longer be a threat. You can see him. Got the Siphon going through, going to use a high regular launch pad to go far side of zone. As Storm Surge does turn off there. Snake picks up Crumbler and Astonish. Gets over with a nice little bunny hop to maintain momentum. And now he's just going to tunnel on in to some old builds as we get a look at the rest of the lobby. Desperately trying to rotate through these old builds right now.
And there's a huge disparity where actual height is and everyone else who's playing towards that low ground. Spark will be uncontested and using this situation, this launch pad, to move throughout. And Snake, who was in the storm, gets picked off mid-air just due to the damage that Storm is putting down. Spark obviously landed a shot on him before. Nanolite alive though, taken out, but then takes out Zum, who was also all the way in Storm. Right now, huge Storm fights going on. Although on mid-ground, Spark is still holding his ground. Now has the agency loot, minus his drum gun, to use 3 eliminations, can easily double if he plays box to box to box. He's wondering when to go in, making minimal noise. The zone now on him. He's trying to identify opponents' patterns. No one around him or above just at the moment, actively searching to shoot his body. He has a very good prime position here to start raining down shots. There's the first barrage that goes down. Hornet gets taken out, then close range. He has an SMG to fall back on as well. The automatic weapons in Spark's inventory have no off time, no limit whatsoever. He can just choose to shoot whoever he wants, close and far, and right now he's almost at 6 elims and in the top 10 in the endgame.
And it should have been enough to push him over into qualification. He had 77 points yesterday, was sitting at 123rd, but now with 5 elims and into the top 10, adding up to just over 200 points now between these 2 days, up to 207, and making the drum gun go burr, pushing into the box over and over again. You talked about the high rate of fire weapons getting on your wall. You don't want it to happen to you. Schmacked gets absolutely smacked there as Crave, Starving Aiden, and Clarity G are on the low ground. Spark trying to use the grappler now to get up onto the high ground to challenge Bully, but Origins is just hanging out underneath as we begin to move slightly up this hill, so things are going to get a little awkward for those of us on the low ground.
And the Spark gets that grappler. He finds the ignition to drive straight to high ground. Clarity, though, getting very muddy all the way here on low. Doesn't have many materials to kind of push himself up past the situation, but does have the ammunition and power ready to block off Starving Aiden down at the low ground. Just 8 HP, does not have the juice to make it through the last portion of this game. And now it's a 1v1. Spark G, who took height with 2 Mythic POIs worth of loot, versus Origins, who's lost in a big labyrinth of builds down below. Spark with 6 chooses to just stay back, shield up, and look for the 7th and the win. And right now, it's ominous. He's not sure where this player can be. He knows that the grappler won't be in play because it's in his inventory. There's metal builds below him, so it's going to be very hard to pierce through and look for shots. He finds natural low, though. Knows exactly where a player could go if he's in the situation. Finds him finally. Box to box, though. Tracks him 180 degrees. It's not enough. Around the world, his aim cannot reign true. It's Origins, who from the beginning lasts to the very end. A huge celebration from him there to take the final win out of NA East. Such a good game by Spark, though. So many developments in that game, Zeke. I can't wait to see exactly how this region broke down.
That's it. The final game out of NA East. Gentlemen, we got to talk about it. The standings. Who are the people that made it through the top 80 that we're looking to push on through to grand finals? Now, of course, a massive congratulations there to Origins. He was 282nd yesterday, but still showing it doesn't matter. I can still make something happen. The ultimate question is, was it enough? Let's take a look at the standings and see who holds that number 1 spot. And it looks like Roller is actually in first place there. Now, keep in mind, that is a tiebreaker, because the only difference there is the eliminations at 43. But still, there are so many people there at the top. Stretch, Scoped, we've seen them all day. Illest, Mara was in that last game. Light, excuse me, 2XE. There's so many. Also, the Victorials actually are the tiebreaker as well. Gentlemen, we got to go through the standings. We got to take a look at the list. Shy, what do you think?
I mean, I was going to mention, it's that Victory Royale that we saw just play out. Roller, all the way from aggression, will stay at the top, still in the top 10. Stretch is up there. Scoped is there too. People who fell downwards, though, Commandment, all the way 17th place, was trying to stay in the middle of the pack, but just rose up slightly above everyone else. Durant, who we saw in the top 10, now down to 11. Still, 2 Victory Royales on Goosh, who had that top 20 spot. He will qualify for the grand finals. So many more names here, though, Sundown.
Yeah, we had God Pump on the last page as well. That's Saf being able to represent. You have Unknown Army, Astonis, Legendian, Young Calc, Assault all up there, as well as Outcast Hunt, Sharpshooter, and Jelty, Roat, Stowe, Acorn, Zate, Niddle, Nico, ICIV, and Coop. So a lot of names who we've seen pretty much all over the Cash Cups on NA East. Pretty familiar there. Yubo, Canada, Shaz, Mickey, Storm, Bully, Ved, Booga, 48, sneak it on in there with 22 elims. Doxy Fishy and Plague rounding out the top 50.